Hello, welcome to at least chapters 31 and 32 of Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library. So 31. So does anyone have a clue as to what we're supposed to find in this book? Asked Kyle. He and his teammates were back in the young adult room staring at the cover of Get to Know Your Local Library. Too early to tell, said Miguel. Let's keep playing. This book will probably make more sense once we go into the other rooms and pick up more clues. Whose turn is it? Asked Akemi. Yours, said Kyle. Flick the spinner. Akemi finger-kicked the plastic pointer. Purple, she yelled when the arrow slid to a stop. The 800s. That means you move 8 spaces, mumbled Kyle. Except today, Akemi reached for the card on top of the purple stack. When she saw what was written on it, she frowned. What's the clue? Asked Kyle. Something about literature, rhetoric, or criticism? Asked Miguel. Nope, said Akemi. It's a wild card with a riddle. Read it, said Sierra. I rhyme with dart and Cracker Jacks. Visit me and find a rhyme for Andy. Peckelman? Said Kyle. How'd he get his name on a game card? Bro, said Miguel. Nobody calls Andrew Pickleman Andy. Of course, it could mean Andrew Jackson, the 7th President of the United States. Or Andy Panda, said Akemi. Or Andrew Carnegie, said Sierra. He was a generous supporter of libraries. Okay, said Kyle. Let's concentrate on the first part of the riddle. What rhymes with dart and Cracker Jacks? Smart and heart attacks? Suggested Miguel. Art and bric-a-brac? Said Sierra. Art and artifacts, said Akemi, nailing it. They hurried over to the art and artifacts room. Everybody check out the display cases, said Kyle. See if anything rhymes with the word Andy. Well, this model of an old bank building is certainly grandy, said Miguel, and Pharaoh's pyramids and sphinx would be sandy if it wasn't made out of Legos. True, said Kyle, sounding unconvinced about both. Check it out, you guys, cried Akemi, who was studying a row of styrofoam heads sporting hats. This plaid fedora from 1968 was worn by a guy named Leopold Loblolly. So, said Kyle. According to this plaque, Loblolly was one of the notorious dandy bandits. Dandy rhymes with Andy. That it does, said Miguel. However, Loblolly does not. Neither does Leopold, added Kyle. Candy rhymes with Andy, said Sierra. She was staring at the objects in the display case under a banner reading, Welcome to the Wonderful World of Willy Wonka. Awesome, said Miguel, hurrying over to admire the collection of everlasting gobstoppers, glumptuous globbers, Laffy Taffy, and pixie sticks, displayed under glass in a sea of purple velvet. Mr. Lemoncello is a lot like Willy Wonka, said Kyle. You mean crazy, said Akemi. I prefer the term eccentric. And Dr. Zinchenko is his Oompa Loompa, said Sierra. Everyone started giggling. Nah, Akemi joked, she's too tall. And not nearly orange enough, added Miguel. And the Willy Wonka book was written by Roald Dahl, said Sierra, who Kyle figured could name 12 other books the guy wrote too. In it, Mr. Wonka takes Charlie and Grandpa Joe home in a flying glass elevator that crashes through the roof of his chocolate factory. Everybody thought about that for a second. So now we have to find a glass elevator, said Akemi, because there isn't one on the floor plan. But Mr. Lemoncello is just wild enough to build one, said Kyle. And if he did, he probably wouldn't put it on the floor plan. No way, said Miguel. Everybody would want to ride in it. I know I would, said Sierra. So, we're seriously searching for a secret glass elevator, said Akemi. Maybe, said Kyle. Maybe not. This is just another piece of a gigantic jigsaw puzzle. Why, we won't see the whole picture until we collect all the pieces. Or someone shows us the box lid, cracked Akemi. Look, it's only 6 p.m., said Kyle, and we're collecting a ton of good information. You mean a ton of random information, said Akemi. Well, said Miguel, once we have more clues, we can use Sherlock Holmes's famous deductive reasoning method to make logical connections between all the random junk. Works for me, said Kyle, but if we're going to play Sherlock Holmes, we need to go spin that spinner and dig up more clues. The game's afoot, said Sierra. Huh? Kyle and Akemi said together. Sorry, it's just something Sherlock says to Watson whenever he gets excited. Sherlock Holmes. Kyle had just found another bunch of books to add to his reading list. Chapter 32. Okay, Sierra, said Kyle, your turn. Sierra flicked the spinner. The pointy tip ended up in the yellow 200 zone, so she went ahead and pulled a yellow card. It's definitely for the 200 section, she said, showing her clue to Miguel before revealing to Kyle and Akimi. Weird, said Miguel. What? Asked Akimi before Kyle could. Well, the 200s are where they keep books on world religions. But there are 2 numbers on this card, said Sierra. Maybe this time we need to find 2 books, suggested Kyle. I don't know, said Sierra, studying her card. 220.5203 is obviously a call number. Obviously, said Akimi. But this other number isn't in the proper format. 2/20/15. February 20th, 2015, said Akimi. Quick, what happened on that date? Nobody knows, said Kyle, because it hasn't happened yet. Oh, right. Okay, how about February 20th, 1915? That was the opening day of the Panama Pacific International Exposition in San Francisco, said Sierra. Jaws dropped. Sorry, I'm a big World's Fair fan. Everyone else just nodded. Finally, Miguel spoke up. Look, let's just go down to the 200s room and find 220.5203. We can figure out the second chunk later. The team once again trooped down to the second floor and worked their way around the circular balcony. You guys, said Sierra, looking across the atrium at the statues, remember how they switched all the hologram authors when Bridget Wedge did her extreme challenge? Yep, said Kyle. She was doing good until she got to that Russian dude. What Russian dude? Asked Miguel, who hadn't witnessed Bridget's elimination. The guy who wrote 4 or 6 books Sierra couldn't tell you about. 5 or 6. But look, said Sierra, now all the authors' statues that she could tell you about, sorry. But look, said Sierra, now all the author statues are the same ones they were last night. So, said Kyle thoughtfully, if they can switch them around... These must be clues for our game, blurted Akimi. She pulled out a pen and her notepad. I'll write down their names. Start with the guy under the 000 wedge of the Wonder Dome, suggested Kyle. Right. Akimi read the labeled pedestal and jotted down all the authors' names. Thomas Wolfe, Booker T. Washington, Stephen Sondheim, George Orwell, Lewis Carroll, Dr. Seuss, Maya Angelou, Shel Silverstein, Synonymous Bosch, and Todd Strasser. So, said Akimi when she finished writing, do you think this game could get any more complicated? Maybe, said Kyle. It's possible that Mr. Lemoncello left a complete different paths to the same solution. Well, personally, I can only take one path at a time, said Akimi, so let's go find 220 point whatever. Excuse me. Should be in the next row of bookcases, said Miguel. Here we go. 220.5203, the King James Bible. Ach de Lieber, an excellent choice, said a man with a thick German accent. The 4 teammates spun around, and were face to face with a semi-transparent guy in medieval garb with fur-trimmed cap and a beard that looked like 2 raccoon tails sewn together under his nose and chin. I am Johannes Gonzopfinger der Landen zum Gutenberg, said the holographic image, who had ink stains all over his fingertips. You created the Gutenberg Bibles on your printing press, gushed Sierra. Ja, big bestseller. You must help with der Bible. I am at your service, he bowed. Okay, said Akimi, turning to Miguel. Take it away, Miguel. Herr Gutenberg, sir, we're looking for 2/20/15. Das und Funch. Huh? Oh, that's as easy. 2/20/15 is Exodus, chapter 20, verse 15. Of course, said Miguel. Exodus is the second book of the Bible. 20 and 15 are the chapter and verse. He flipped through some pages. Here we go. Exodus, chapter 20, verse 15. It's one of the 10 commandments. Thou shalt not steal. Okay, we'll end there for now, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye-bye.